These are not the best conditions for a driving or walking tour of the community, but I'm going to do it anyhow in the interest of getting this out to you. So, leaving the Tate driveway here and driving down the unpaved section of Junaluska. The nearest neighbor on this side of the development is this red cabin here, which I'll come up and get a better view of. I gotta get out of the car. Here's actually the second closest neighbor, which is a white house, which is not particularly well cared for. And really haven't had much contact with the folks who live here at all. Let me get out of the house and take a quick peek at the cabin, which is right here. Pretty nice looking cabin with some stonework and red roofing on top. Actually almost made an offer on this cabin last year, and the owner at the last minute, who actually sold me the good chunk of the land that's now the development, changed his mind about selling it right now. And we'll just continue our driving tour. If you're still interested in the land after all this, then I'm going to be quite impressed, because this is obviously not the most professional operation we got going right here. Just want to give you a sense, though, what the neighborhood's like, so that you have a little bit more information about what's around here. Now, the development is, the bottom edge of the development is right at the end of what you can see here on the pavement. We'll go there in just a minute, but first I'm going to take a left here down Wynn Way, which is one of the potential walking routes to campus. So at the bottom of the development, you would turn left on the paved part of Junaluska, and then you would take a right on Wynn Way. And Wynn Way is a very short little road. I'll try to show you some of the houses here, see what the neighborhood looks like. Again, not the most particularly well-kept houses. The private ownership isn't quite there. But this is the neighborhood. So now we come here to the Western Youth Network parking lot. Western Youth Network is a kind of after-school activity program, which is housed in this building right here. And here's their parking lot. Now, if you were to take a left here in the parking lot and cut down a little trail, you will end up at the top side of Junaluska Park. And then from there, it's a walk through the woods and a park that, again, really ought to be cultivated a little bit more with walking trails and so forth. Right now, there's a very rough trail, but I'd like to see that park utilized a bit more, a play area and so forth in there, and maybe a 6-7 minute walk down to the public library, and then just a minute past that to King Street. So I'm turning around in the Western Youth Network parking lot, and I'll go back up Wynn Way. I'll take a left on Junaluska, and if you're not dizzy yet, I'll try a little harder. course, there's no substitute for actually seeing the terrain itself and seeing the houses, but this does provide, I hope, a little bit more information. So we turn left here on the paved part of Junaluska. Stop here and take a quick look at this house. Actually don't know who lives there. And coming back to the main road, a woman named Sheila lives in this house here. And here's the White House that I referred to at the bottom of the subdivision.
There?
Down here. And this house here is owned by a woman named Sherry Baker, who owned a theater in town called the Dragonfly Theater, which is now called the Real Cinema. Business owner. I think she actually moved to New York now, and she's renting that house. And here we continue down the road. Lee Ball's house, which I mentioned. Here to the right, we've got a trailer and another small house here. If I were to turn right here, I'll go up to the Ridgeview townhouses, and I'll just sort of point the camera up there so you can see. These are the townhouses that I'm referring to that are several hundred yards to the east over a ridge from the development. And they really don't bear on the development at all, except that on Junaluska Road, they use this road as well. So this is an interesting little house on the way to school in King Street. It's an old white farmhouse that's on several acres. And there's often horses pasture here in the summer. And I pan back through the rainy day to Junaluska Road, and the houses on the side. I'll take a good look at those as we go down the road here.